Hey folks, welcome back to West Yorkshire Retro Gamer. I've decided to do some very short videos based on each new signing that Leeds United are going to make this summer. The club did recently confirm the very first signing of the new season, and it is in the shape of Lukas Nmecha. What I'm going to do with each of the new players is I'm just going to take their details from Wikipedia and just have a little look and try and focus on the seasons which really have stood out for them, if any. So, by the looks of it, he was actually born in Germany. Obviously came over to England very young, got himself some England underage caps, and then changed his nationality back to German, and has been able to squeeze his way into the Germany full national squad. He's obviously not the most prolific of strikers if you look at the stats there. However, I do want to put out there in isolation a season that wasn't all that long ago, the 2020 to 2021 season, where he got a very impressive 18 goals in 37 games, so basically a goal every couple of games really, for Anderlecht, who are known to be one of the best teams in Belgium. So there is clearly a player in there. He's 26-year-old. It's a good age. Little bit of height on him, so hopefully it comes with a little bit of physical strength there as well. Obviously knows what the English leagues are about, which is useful. And Leeds have been able to get him on a free transfer, which is going to be even better, because then it's only his wages that are going to potentially, take any kind of money out of the club. So I don't anticipate that he's going to be on an absolutely massive contract, either in wages or length. And despite him not being super prolific, apart from that one good season he had with Anderlecht, I think we've certainly got someone that can definitely fill a hole in the squad. There's every possibility that Patrick Bamford may leave on a permanent basis. There is every possibility that Matteo Joseph might leave on loan. And so the striking positions are going to need to be filled, and for that reason, this is why I don't think this is a terrible signing. Like with all signings, you've got to give them a chance. But ultimately, we're going to have to hope that he can provide something that maybe the club doesn't have without him. Could be in terms of pace, stature, maybe bringing others into play perhaps. It's one of those things really. He's a bit of an unknown quantity as a senior player. Obviously spent a lot of time at Manchester City in their youth team. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. He obviously struggled as a youngster at Preston. You can't judge too much on half a dozen games for the loan that he had with Wolfsburg, or possibly even the 11 games he had at Middlesbrough. We don't know how many of those were sub-appearances according to Wikipedia. They just put the whole number of appearances together. But yeah, that 2021 season looks useful. If say for example, if he was Anderlecht's second striker, and he's getting 18 goals in 37 games. That's not a bad haul. The Belgian Pro League is obviously an okay league without it being spectacular. Teams like Club Brugge and Anderlecht are regulars, in the European game. So, at the very least, he will have experienced some of that. We're getting him from Wolfsburg in the German league, the Bundesliga. Again, his record there, not fantastic by any stretch, but again, I don't know how many of those 63 appearances were starts and how many were sub-appearances. But again, Wolfsburg, a very established German club. And you don't get yourself into a national side that, by and large, are usually found in the top 10 nations in the world. For the most part, without having a little bit of something about you. So, he hasn't scored internationally, but again, I don't know how many of those 7 caps for Germany were starts and how many were sub-appearances. So, he's not going to be a signing that's going to set the world alight, I wouldn't have thought, but like any player, gotta give him a chance. We can't just say, oh, he's on a free transfer and has a poor scoring record, so he's not going to be any good. Under Daniel Farke, it'll be a different system, possibly. It might be a different formation to what he's used to playing. So, I think it's a very low risk signing, and I think it's a signing that, the squad is going to need depth this season. I watched Lucas's interview. Again, you can't even read too much into interviews these days, but he seems pretty keen. He's been advised by former Leeds United player Josh Gilavogi that Leeds would be a good destination for him to basically have a go with his next stage of his career. And at the age of 26, I feel that we're getting his best years. So whatever that equates to. Let's say, for example, if we get him on there's rumours it's a 2-year contract, there's rumours it's a 3-year contract, and it's like, if it is a 3-year contract, we get him from the age of 26 to 29. I don't think that's a bad deal, really. We've got a chance of having Lukas Nmecha at his best. And maybe, as a club, maybe Leeds United can improve him. Maybe the Premier League will be a league that he can adapt to better than the other leagues that he's played in so far. And we don't know what his role's going to be yet. Does he come in as the primary number 9? Does he come in as maybe a second choice number 9 or even a 10? Or even a winger, according to Wikipedia. So, there's a space for him there in that squad, and it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on. So, certainly wishing Lucas all the very best at Leeds United. We want the best for every player at Leeds United. That way then we've got a better chance of staying up and establishing ourselves as a Premier League club again, which is where Leeds should be, in my humble opinion. So, yeah, first signing through the door at Ellen Road, and there is very strong rumours of Leeds' second signing coming through very, very soon. So once that one has been confirmed by the club on the club website, I will do another one of these short videos. I'm going to look at them being about 10 minutes each for each player that comes through the Leeds United doors this summer. And once the transfer window has finally shut, I will then do a full stream to evaluate. God, I can't even get my words in. To evaluate the transfer business that we've done, and to look at the squad as a whole. So, do please keep your eyes open for these folks if you're wanting to know what is going on in terms of Leeds' transfer incomings this summer. I will get a little video out for each one of them. But big thank you for watching, and I will see you all when the next player comes in. All the best. Bye for now.